Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30. It is Monday, August 17th, and time to wrap it up for today. So, yeah, we just got weakness and the more weakness after that 1:30 time frame. They just took it lower. I period started heading lower. We're down here at the 77, 75s, lower end of the, we have on the ES, we're pretty much down to the attractor point here, right down to that 77, 70 level. So definitely backing off the highest move out of the middle we thought we had is a no more. That's just basically an extension of the prior distribution, and we're just going to be back range bound right now. And if anything, I would start off with the bias to the downside, given that this has been an absolute steady weakness going on here. There's not been a lot of lift at all throughout today. A little bit in the morning, a little bit in E period, but that was it. And then there's just been a slow drift to the downside. It looks to me like we may even see them try to take it lower going into the close. You see the end period is down here trying to flirt with the lows. So we'll see how they're doing it now. So yeah, heading lower, even lower. So a weak market, weak start of the week. So we'll see how that's going to develop. It's starting off on the short side right now, at least going into the overnight. Let's see where they're going to, how far they want to take it. So a pretty obvious edge to get short against at the 77.80s. And it's going to be one here at the 89.90s here. I'm going to adjust these for tomorrow's trading. On the NASDAQ, same story, not quite as weak. The ES is, I think it lower. NASDAQ is not following suit. You can see NASDAQ just flopping around here. So the Nasdaq had a pretty good run up here. I took one trade here in the morning, a nice short. I should have sat in that thing. Sometimes you get out too early. I wasn't expecting a big trade out of this, but I mean, I guess sitting in this trade for a long time would have been a pretty good move. Normally, I would have gone out a little bit. Going at that initial bounce high, it was the expectation of this trade. I got that. Getting back out at the midpoint would have been a patient trade or a mean or the midpoint. That I've been on this bar there. But sitting in that thing, sitting through that slop and the potential for them running a little bit higher and shaking you out, no, probably not. So I would probably sit in that trade longer if they failed a little bit more convincingly. But Nasdaq never really does that. They just run down and then go back and forth and churn everything for a bit. And of course, and same as the ES, they little drift on the downside here. But I was almost tempted to get on a short here on this little rotation up. This to me felt very much like here we go. They're sucking all the people in on the wrong side of the market. But I didn't get a good setup. They just set up, they just up and then straight back down again. So that was pretty much sell into it if you wanted to get on that thing. And I was looking for a little bit more. There's no real level here more than that prior rotation. So that's all I had to lean against. I figured that was pretty aggressive. So I didn't do anything, but that could have been a nice trade. I did take one more trade here at the on this grind to the downside. I got long here for a bit, and that was at support when we were down here in that support area. Got long, got a small trade out of that thing, and that was bad. That was just before the last update. So two trades up 46 right now on the Nasdaq. That's about it. Haven't been more aggressive. Today is days like this. You have to be deliberate. You get too aggressive trying to trade direction and in and out, you'll just get chopped up because the market is just not moving. You had to figure out what direction the market is going and try to get on that direction, or fade an edge and then see it for a little bit and not expecting a huge, big trade out of it. So that's kind of where we are. But I would start on the downside, on the bias to the downside on both the ES and Nasdaq. On the Nasdaq, I would look for shorts against those single prints here at the 30,150s, rotations down, and we'll see how far they want to take it. If they blow through the 30,000s, it's going to be a problem. But I'm not sure they're going to do that. I'm not sure. There's nothing really driving the market more than general weakness in certain stock and strengths in others. Now there's some earnings come out. I just heard it on the news. A bunch of more staples kind of earnings coming out here throughout the week. So there's going to be more earnings coming out this week as well. Bond market is one which is concerning to us. That is heading lower. They are grinding this down. And as you said this morning, these guys are here's your capital flow. They're down here taking out the lows. They're making new lows. So this could be the start of a move out of the middle to the downside. Not quite there yet. They're down here at the edge, right there at the lower edge at the 108.08. But if they start taking this lower in the overnight and into tomorrow, then we're in a move out of the middle to the downside on the bonds. So let's see how that develops. I haven't traded any bond trades today. Nothing really set up. And after they moved down here into that late part of the day, it's not really a good setup down here. They stalled and that's going sideways. They tried to get long against their 08, could have been an opportunity, but you know, once it reprices like this, you know it's not going to go very far after that. So you can only trade that for a tick or two. On the cryptos, not much going on. I haven't traded any of those. Oil traded up a bit to the 84, 85 level. That's also hinging on some of the news coming out of the Middle East, but we'll see where they're going to go from there. So back to the ES and the Nasdaq, and let's see. We'll see where they're going to go. The ES made a nice rush, flashy at the end. Ran the stops below the obvious. Continuation now is just going to be stay on the short side, kind of dynamic. But I would look to sell strength in the overnight for rotations down and see how far they're going to take it and how weak it's going to get in the overnight, or we're going to see some strength building up here. All right, guys, we'll wrap it there. So only 2 trades on the Nasdaq, up 46 right now, and that's it. All right, guys, see you in the morning. Have a good evening. Later.